Here we can see the exact strategy that this whale is using. Okay, there were a whole bunch of sales coming in, and we can see that right here. So up to then, these were pretty big buys at like, was it 317? So they're just building up momentum, and then they went straight to selling. Okay, so we have, what is this, 369 sales in a row, and then one big buy, and that was at 321.97, which is above what it is right now. And there were additional sales coming in at 321, and this was 6,000, 19,000, and $10,000. That sold at 321, 319, 319, and then they stopped because it was now exceeding the money they actually paid for. So from here, for these small sales, you can see this one big buy over here at 321, and then followed by three small sales, and then one whale at 3 or 834. So you can see that these two were executed at the same time. So we have two cells at 327.14, and the last one before that was 10 minutes before that. So we have like a small detection here of this first whale, then followed by two more whales and one buy at 318.61, right? So we see that 321, or whatever profit that they took over here, they bought at 321, and they're hoping to basically make more money from 321, but as you can see, the price dropped down very quickly to 318 because of these three whale sales, right? Even though we had a track over here of selling for quite some time, right after a bunch of buys. Okay, so these were small, well, reasonably small buys, although there's one that was a 20, 37, $27, $27,000, $17,000, all the way up till this big sell. So you can see that first begins with buying to simulate volume and simulate buying process, although that was 2 hours ago. And here in the view here, you don't see any big whales at all. It's also small fish. There's a 3K, 2K, 3K. So all these buys, if you actually look at the ZCash trading and you go back in time, you will see that there's small cells, and it looks like it's starting to build up over here at the 1 marker, 1 minute. But the other 3 and 5 minutes were selling. Okay. So we can see that there's selling and buying happening at the same time. And in this particular layout, here's what it translates to. We have a bunch of small fish buying and creating a volume, but there are no whales happening right here. So there's a, if we just do the buys over here, so we have 834 last buy, and if you do just both, so we had 327, which is again 20 minutes ago, big sales. Okay, so now we have a small buy coming in, and as we look in the past over here, we can see that these buys are usually accumulating to a price increase that this whale then sells at, and then tries to enter again, although this to me looks like a artificial trade, because who would buy at a peak price like 321.97 when it's 320 now, so it's like $2 down? Why don't we see this big sell actually selling off right there? So what it's possible is that these three, 19 plus 10 is 29, plus 6 is 35. Not quite $54,000, but the $54,000 buy here, I would expect to kind of move up and then be a later sell over here. So we have a Now one whale, which was 14 minutes ago, and everything since then it's just small, pressure influencing buys and sells that basically are trying to make you believe that the price is going up. So you see these small fish. What we're waiting for is a big whale, and the big whale, when it comes in, this particular bot will buy it after two big whales, in 2 minutes. Okay, so if that happens, it will buy, and that's what it's done in the past. So you can see 317, 318, 318, 318, 318. These are the buys. And this 319 price now is generating a very small profit of almost like $2 per buy. Okay. So when it gets up to, let's say, 326, we're going to sell this, or we're going to make, what is it, like $60 or something? Not a huge, right? But the thing is, once you figure out the actual pattern, you can then increase the buy sell over here. So you can change this to, say, $20,000 and then make 10 times that kind of money. So instead of $60, you make $600, okay, etc. So if you have enough money to play with, you can turn it up over here. But this is what the aquarium trading is telling me, is that they're small influencing buys and sells that are basically very careful buying to establish a fake volume. Okay, so we have a price chart over here that went up to 322.12, and my equity curve is still green. When it turns red, I'm gonna start getting worried. But it was like 318 a couple minutes ago, and now it's 320 again. So here's a whale, okay, coming in, one whale, which is what, 6,000? Yeah, $6,000. Boom. Is there gonna be another one? So if I don't see any more whales, to me, that just looks like one person is trying to enter the market again and maybe using these small buys as an accelerator. Okay, so here's a second one. So we should see actually a buy because that's within 2 minutes. And what is that? 6 gates. So it's actually a replay of the same, because we don't see a new entry here. So it's the replay of the same whale going across the screen, just to remind us that there are whales, but we want to see more than one. We want to see two or three. So right now we have 850. There is not a second whale coming in. It's just the same one repeating, going across. And I tried to program it so it just shows one whale, but it keeps looping the same thing. And yeah, I'm not gonna buy unless I see more than one whale, right? So we need to see something like this right here within the 2 minute time frame. This one over here, for 2 minutes at 317. So we did make a buy here at 317. It bought, and now it's just waiting for more whales to go across. Yeah, still 6K. And again, if I go back over this thing, we can now see that it's actually the momentum and the price is growing because of these all these green candles. However, these are not whale buys. Okay, so there's one at 27K. Let's see if we're actually gonna pick that up in the trader. So these are Coinbase only, by the way. So I don't have insight into. I didn't hook it up to anything else. To me, trade Coinbase is enough. I could add the other exchanges here so I can pick up all these trades, which is what this trader is doing. They're connected to multiple exchanges, so they are watching all the buys and sales there, not just Coinbase. Okay, so we're seeing that there's a momentum here, And the momentum should lead to a higher price eventually, even though here, let's close this. Okay, we got two big sales coming in right here, which means the price could start going down very quickly. Okay, so it's 321. This is why the whales are coming in. They're picking up to 321. Boom, already down a couple cents. So we got 6K, 6K, and another 6K. So this guy right here is just making trades based on the price. So we got 2, 3, 4, and maybe more coming in. So I think these two are just a replay of 6K. So go 1, 2, 3, 4 big whales coming in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy is now taking profits at this level right here. So what we should see here shortly is a price reduction based on these sales. But these sales are actually not high enough. They're only $6,000, so it's not that big of a deal to influence the price to drop down significantly. But it is going down by like 20 cents already. So we're getting a replay of the same whales. And now we're waiting for a buy, two buys before we get in because I don't want to get involved unless I'm making money, not losing money. So I'm looking for the buys. Okay, so buys like this, but within 2 minutes. Not interested in buying stuff when it's dropping. Okay, when there's redfish going across, not interested. But here you can see the positions that were entered. It was 318, 318, 318, 318, and 317. So we're actually $2 above the entry price. And it's waiting to either go up by $10. So if it goes up by $10, it will start tracking it from there. And when it drops down $2, it will just sell those positions. So I'll have made $8 per coin at that point. Now, this is not, like minute to minute, you can make $1 million in 2 minutes. No, this is very slow process that could take a day. Okay, but the idea here is not lose any money. And if it's actually going up, don't panic sell when you see $10 because it could go up $20, $30. I mean, this is Zcash. It does this all the time, right? So why would I give up that top level when I can wait to the top? So if I actually see a top myself, I'll go to Coinbase and sell it at that point, and I'll use this button here to reset my sales. So here, this clear positions will reset all these. That means it will lose track of these and it will not sell them because now it's not aware that they're there. So if I sell it through Coinbase, this is separate. It doesn't check Coinbase. It just now I need to reset the position and start buying again, right? So the take right now again, which is what is this, like a total of 12, 18, 24, 30. So 30 times 2 equals $60. Okay, in just today's trading at $2,000 level per trade. Okay, so that's how this works. The backdrop here is a black hole surfer icon. It literally means I'm surfing the event horizon of a black hole, waiting for things to either fall in or remain on the surface, which is the board. He has a black hole surfer board that keeps him at the even horizon. I don't know how that's physically possible. Okay, don't ask me that. Well, it's just the idea. How do you actually maintain the level of not falling in and disappearing into another Uranus or wherever these black holes are going? So uh, take that with a grain of salt. That's just a visualization piece. Well, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time.